Okay, so we are live for the Ginetta Spec race at the British Invasion, the Queen's tracks here. We're going to be doing Brands Hatch and Oulton Park and a surprise other British track, not known yet. What we're going to be doing. Quali is about to start in about 28 seconds. I have my name is Jason Alvarez. I'll be the commentator tonight, and I also have Rudy Manier, who's also be joining me as the second commentator.
Yes, hello, thank you.
All right, as I will go on board with one of the drivers here and just make sure that the audio levels are working out.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Okay, great. I think we're in the clear there. And the picture-in-picture is when we will both be streaming in the stream team, and I'll look off of your.
And I that. Just tell me what car you want to head to, and that's what we'll do.
Okay.
Practice has just ended. Who I think are going to be pretty fast. Last season, Josh Willis was pretty fast, but I think the fastest driver that we're going to see here today is going to be Andrew Pickrell. He drove with the Ginetta last season in GT4, and I think he's going to be able to qualify on top just based on that. He already has a lot of experience with this car, and so look for him to be pretty quick.
Okay, as the session has ended, yep, we will be starting with Pickerel. And you can just go in on.
So I am on him right now.
Everything works. There we are.
Pickrell's a very consistent driver. He's one of the better ones in both GT3 and GT4. Finished near the top of the table both of last season, so expect him to be quick here in one of our off-season races, and expect him to be quick in the upcoming series. That starts this early September.
One of the best products. So we also have the stream chat open as well. So it looks like Grim said it's gonna be fun. Go provolone by the waffle burner, and everyone loves cheese. I used to like cheese. I'll have it on a cheeseburger, but nothing beyond that. Age has a problem with cheese.
Nothing better than a good grilled cheese with bacon and ham and some tomato.
Question is, do you put mayo on it?
I think the cheese is gooey enough to where you don't need the mayo.
Oh, the mayo really puts it in perspective.
That's fair. Looks like a couple drivers are starting their lap. 47, I believe that's Richie Girolman. He is starting his now, and King goes across the line as well. Then Josh Willis, and then Morrison, and then the guy we are on board with, Pickrell.
And he's going to be the one, as Rudy said earlier, to be watching for, because he did main this car in the GT4 series that we just ended not too long ago. He was fast then, and I think he's going to be fast here, although he did comment earlier during free practice that this car is not meant for this track. So we'll see if it pans out for him.
Yeah, this car's pretty tail happy. And I
Yeah.
saw with Morrison going through the first corner there during his out lap. But I think Pickrell so far has been controlling it well.
We're going into Pilgrim's Shop here. You'll see
like Morrison runs
Mhm.
wide, and there's a
Yeah.
blue flag, so he'll be obliged to get over.
He does not. Apparently, he is really going for the attack there.
Like he kind of held Pickerel up, so that's unfortunate.
You'll see a lot of drivers going wide on those that last sector. It's pretty tricky. I haven't just driven this car for about 45 minutes, and once it hits that side, the grass really wants to just take that back end out from under him. So as he pulls off a 133.7, that is the fastest time on the board so far. As Morrison gets a 136.6, and Spool gets a 137.8.
Very quick there. Pickerel already 3/10 up going into his next lap. And remember, he did get held up by Morrison, but on that exit, loses a bit of time.
We're going to be pulling on to Josh Willis here, who's already improving upon his time. He was a 134.3, and that is P2 for him on pole right now. So let's see if he can improve and overtake Pickerel on quali.
Timetables here. Josh is about 6/10 slower than Pickerel right now. Pickerel holding purple in all sectors.
I think you're going to see a lot of drivers take that a little bit more cautiously, because if you go too far on the wide side, you're going to end up in the grass just ever so slightly. But with this car, this Ginetta really wants to pull away once it touches that grass. So, and he's already experienced this before in practice, so maybe he's just trying to be safe going through that last turn that we saw him.
No, that I think Josh definitely could have put it a little wider on that turn. He definitely got loose in the corner there and spun the back tires. I think there's some time to be made up in that final corner.
Pickerel pulls in another 133.675. Josh remaining in second place with 134.110.
Go deep there and lose a bit of time.
And Richie is another fast driver, regardless of the car. This man is still putting in, pole position on quali. Richie Drelleman, who's in P3. What would be his timetable closest to the pole position? About 6 seconds off. Not 6 seconds, but
Total race, maybe about 6 seconds. We'll see here. Actually, Richie's got a great lap going here. I just lost a bit of time going through that fast right-hander, but it looks like he gained time on the exit, so good for him. Hopefully he gets a good exit coming out of this corner, and not as good as some of his previous laps, but still 3/10 up, so he might be able to unseat Josh, and it looks like someone already unseated him for 4th place. Someone must have gotten bumped up to 3rd.
he pulls P4. Provolone. Now that's a man that you didn't see coming. He's new to the Trackalicious team or the season. He hasn't started with our season yet. He's just been in the mid-season break with us. But he is a fast driver. Look at that, pulling off P3, outseating Richie, who's also one of the fastest drivers in the league.
Provolone clearly had a really nice lap there.
Let's go on board with somebody that hasn't put in a lap here. We got Beachley in the number 19 in 13th
It looks
position
like
right now.
he's not going to be able to get a lap in either, though.
Oh yeah, he's past his time, so it looks like that's unfortunately the end for him. Shurik is just pulled in the pits. He's done. You see all of our drivers.
Provolone is coming to the line now. He is pretty even on his time currently, so it doesn't look like he's going to improve much. Behind him is Wassam. He is 8/10 up now with a really good exit out of that second to last corner.
If he can stick this, he might unseat Richie.
He's able to get through that final corner. Let's see what kind of the sprint he can get to the line. He's currently 8th. He improves to
P4.
4th overall.
Wow.
Behind him, Richie comes in, and
Oh,
he's
and
able to set a 34.3, which puts him into 3rd.
that's nice driving. He must have found his groove on that last one.
Yeah, well done by Richie. You want to list the
Yeah, so we have Pickrell in P1 with the 133.3, Josh Willis, Richie Drelleman, and then we have Provolone in P4. P5 was Wassam, Reggie King in P6, Professor Chronotis in P7, Morrison in P8, Miller in P9, Shurik in P10, and then the rest did not actually qualify. So Spool, Burkhoff, Beachley will be fighting from the back of the pack. So we'll see what this brings. We have Mike Burkhoff, who's a very strong driver. So let's see if he can't pull away from the lineup there.
Yeah, Burkhoff is quite a strong driver. I'm kind of curious to see him kind of make his way through the pack. So we'll take a look, see what's happening. Any drivers you want to kind of look out for today? I have a couple off the top of my head, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
From what I could tell in qualifying, Girolamo and Provolone, we're only about 6 thousandths away from each other. So look for them to be really close in this race. I'm kind of hoping to see a battle between the two of them.
I think we will see a great battle between P3, P4, and P5. They all had very strong quality laps. So I think we'll see a little bit of a muscle between the three of them. It just really depends on what's going to happen with this first 2 turns. I mean, it's like that way with every single time you start up a new race, but particularly this one, it's going to be very interesting to see if anyone's going to try to go too wide on that on turn 2.
Turn 2 will be interesting place there. That is the prime overtaking opportunity, so look for Willis if he can get a good run out of turn 1 here to possibly either hold it around the outside against Pickrell or maybe send one late on the brakes up into turn 2. I doubt it. We'll see. I have a feeling Pickrell will cover that off, but we'll take a look. Who do you want to start off with
We're going
here?
to start off with Pickle. He's a race leader, so we'll just keep him on cam until we start to see any developments occur. Right after turn 2 is when things start to spread out just a little bit. Going into the Pilgrim's Shop will be very interesting because I know that's one of the few places you could really try to get a good overtake in on the inside if you manage it. If the defender isn't really trying to maintain white space right there.
Green light. Go, go, go.
And it is green flag here at Brands Hatch.
So far, everything's clean. Already taking out the cones. They did nothing
Pickrell
to
taking
you.
out the bollards there.
So we see the 1, 2, and 3 stretching out just a little bit. The rest of the drivers are still really compacted, so we'll see if that changes anything here. Seems to be a very clean lap for all drivers so far. Hopefully we don't get the commentator's curse on that one.
Like a common occurrence. Let's hope this race stays clean and hope these drivers are able to get around the track, make some nice overtakes on each other fairly.
What we are seeing, interestingly enough, is that the 1, 2, and 3 are sticking together, but they're already pulling pace away from the 4 and the 5 there. So we'll see if they can't make up any times there. As The
Pickrell goes a little wide there. Willis trying to work it around the outside.
he may be able to. He's on the inside of this next corner. There he goes.
Pickrell's not going to be able to get the switch back. Little bump there, looks like it.
Just some minor contact. Seems to be a very close battle for the 1 and 2 here.
I think this is going to be like this the whole race. I'm really hoping for it. Josh using a little more of the track than Pickrell there.
As the 1, 2, 3 start to spread out against that 4 and 5, we're going to see some definite pace from these race leads here.
Pickrell going a little wide there onto the grass. That's not going to help him catch up to Josh. He needs to settle down and run his lines and run his lap times like he's supposed to.
I'm going to pull away from these drivers and start to take a look at some other things going on the track, as we have Provolone trying to maintain himself against Cronitis. Try to push against him. They're really close, so maybe we'll see a good overtake shortly, but we're just going to pull down the track, take a look at all the drivers here. As we have Burkhoff in 10th, so he did pull 2 positions and has taken some time pushing himself up to the midfield there, as the 11, 12, and 13 have spread out fairly significantly, with the 13th having already pitted. Beachley must have had some damage or something or another. Looks like he's just out of this race for now.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully he can come back to the next race that we have tonight and a little bit better than a DNF.
Right now, it looks like all drivers have kind of spaced apart besides Provolone and Chronotis here. So we'll see if these 2 drivers can make something happen, as Chronotis goes a little wide. Provolone going on the inside to make that overtake.
Doesn't look like he gets it. You guys are fighting side by side. It's a great battle. Great exit by Provolone here. He's going to be able to pull alongside and maybe work his way around Cronitis. I don't suspect he's going to try to lunge it into turn 1.
Yeah, I don't suspect that either, but Cronitis is really trying to hold his line, trying to be defensive. He knows there's a little bit of pressure on that, as Provolone gets a really good stretch on that.
I almost think Provolone's being held up a little bit here.
I think so. I'm just quickly, we'll stay on Provolone, but I'm just going to click on Chronotis here. His best lap was 135.1, and his last was 135.5. And no, I mean, Provolone's best lap was 135.1 as well. Just a couple tenths off of Chronotis, but he might be being held up. He might have more pace than Chronotis, but we won't see it while he's still sitting on the back of that bumper. He's going to have another go on the inside of this turn.
He does back out, though, which is probably the smart move.
Absolutely.
Definitely does not have the run to go attack him on this chicane, so I think he's going to back out. And
there's a few key places to really make your pass on Brands Hatch, and that isn't one of them, so got to look for a major slip up by Chronotis here as he, tries to maintain that line, not go too far wide. All 4 of these drivers
we
are
also
really
got
good pace.
Yeah, it looks like we got another 2 drivers coming into the picture there.
And that's Wassam and Reggie King, former teammates.
And Reggie King's actually going to be driving the Ginetta next season in GT4. So
Ooh,
this is a great practice for him.
Yes, it is. We have Provolone finally going to be able to take this inside. Or this overtake, sorry.
He will take the position going around the outside at turn 3 there. And it looks like Carnitis is going to send one up the inside, and he does spin him.
Oh, that is... You hate to see it.
That Carnitis is going to slow down and possibly let him go, but I'm not sure.
I think Chronotis is going right back to his race as we see him, as Burkhoff has now taken P7. Wassam right behind him there. Burkhoff's made a lot of time back up, and we see Morrison and Shurik attacking each other here. These straps get a little close, but I'm just going to quickly go to the pole positions here. We have Pickrell that overtook Josh at some point in this race while we were looking at Provolone. Unfortunately, Provolone is in P12, so he lost all position off of that overtake, or that sending moment by Chronotis. So
that's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, but the stewards will take a look at that one.
Definitely going to be a penalty for Chronotis. He didn't, Chronotis, excuse me. He didn't brake in time. He was out of the corner and just kind of sent one up the inside. Unfortunate move. Also not a car that all these drivers are familiar with, so that tends to happen.
Rudy, we're going to be looking at Josh Willis here as he's just a couple of tenths off of Pickrell. I think Richie as well is probably looking to see if one of these drivers will make a mistake and capitalize on it. He maintains pace with these two race leads. And they're,
I'm really impressed with Richie. He, I don't want to say he surprised me because he's gotten really fast over the last couple weeks and even months. But to be able to keep pace with someone, one who drove the GT4 Ginetta for so long last season, and Josh, who has really stepped up and come into his own in the past couple months when it comes to GT4.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm really impressed with Richie's progress, and he's really keeping pace with these two leaders here, and just really waiting for one of the two of them to make a mistake.
And one thing we can know for certain is that they're striking on their lap times. Is 1:33.5 is his best. We have a 1:33.7 out of Pickrell, and then a 1:33.6 out of Richie Dralaman. So, I mean, the fastest driver is sitting in the middle of these two drivers on their best times, and they're only tenths off each other. So, I mean, you're gonna see
exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah. Only tenths off each other. It's very impressive.
And you can clearly see where some of these drivers are gaining their times in Sector 1 is where a lot of that those tenths start to add up, and then they're just losing it as they go into the Pilgrim Shop, trying to go into that Sector 2. So we'll see if anyone can improve upon that. I mean, we have some distance forming between these drivers now.
I think Josh made a slight mistake in that first sector that might have cost him a little time, but really any of these drivers are taking the ideal line through that long right-hander, long fast right-hander. I think you really want to start wide off into the entry and then try to make contact with the apex, but it looks like they're really kind of holding it wide and staying wide. I think they might be losing a little time there, but
as Richie does go wide a couple turns ago and gets in the dirt, so that definitely pulled him away from the race leads on that. He's gonna need that extra 2 laps to gain some position back, some time. That was rough.
Commentator's curse shines yet again.
Yeah, I mean, these drivers are going faster each lap. They're now on their best. So this is a little bit of time to that little drift. These drivers are still far away, 11 seconds off P4.
Yeah, all three of them have really pulled away from the rest of the pack.
As Miller is in P5, he was initially in P10 if I'm not mistaken, so he's made up a lot of time. But Reggie King has a nice breather room from the P5, so that'll be interesting. And Mike Burkhoff in P6. He's overtaking Cornitis at some point. Now, is there anybody that's close that we could take a peek at? Yeah, that is unfortunate. Beachley, you didn't think that it was going to happen, but Beachley had been pitted initially off of first lap or two, so he has remained out, and it's unfortunate to see that so early in a race when a driver goes out like that. So Provolone, has great lap time. It's a 1:34.1, so he's just a full second off the race pace of the pole positions here.
For the 1:33.2 last lap, and before that he was also running a 1:33.1. So Josh really finding a consistent pace here, really trying to keep up with Pickrell. Pickrell's been no slouch either, also running very quick lap times. Runs a little wide there, but Josh does not get the best of exit as he touches the curbs, but he is closer to Pickrell now.
Yeah, you can definitely smell that back engine there.
Not look like he's going to go for a move there. Maybe around the outside.
Let's see, flashes the lights. A common occurrence by Josh Willis as he goes really wide. Oh my.
Yes,
Richie's
Josh,
going to have a go at him.
He is going to have a go. Oh, nope, he chooses to back out. Josh also runs wide a little, so Richie might be able to send one up the inside.
Oh, you're seeing it happen. Yes, Richie's going to be able to go ahead of him.
Does make the pass into that tricky corner.
That's Bowl 3 subscribed with Prime. Thank you for that subscription. Awesome.
Yes, thank you. We really appreciate it.
So you see Josh getting really close to Richie.
It's a little hairy on exit, and it looks like he's not going to be able to take him going into turn 1.
Leaders on final lap now.
Yeah, so that costly overtake really shows itself as he's unable to secure P1, and he has dropped to P3. Now battling for P2. Yeah, Josh lost a lot in that sector 2 last lap. It's unfortunate.
This is the final lap as well, so if Josh is going to have to make a move, it's going to have to be sometime this lap. Look for him to try and get a really good exit out of this corner, but it looks like Richie really got a good one there.
I think I'm not speaking too soon when I say that Pickrell, who was the Ginetta GT4 last season, he was running it, so I think he's comfortable, and he's going to stay in P1 for this finale.
There's certainly a chance as Josh does get a good run there. He's getting ever so closer. Richie's really going to have to defend in these last 2-3 corners. Richie does not use any of the curb. He goes wide. Josh is going to be able to get Josh is going to be able to get around him, and Richie's going to try and send one up to the inside. They're both almost side by side, but Josh is going to escape. Unbelievable.
That's great racing right there.
That is great racing.
Fortunately for Richie, he did go wide on that, and that's what really cost him there. Was we have P1 Pickrell, P2 Josh, and P3 Richie Gerelimon, and that was how the quali went. Those 3 drivers. As we pull away, let's go to Reggie King as he crosses in P4. He had a great lead and distance between the P5 positions, so we'll see where he ends up. Miller P5, Burkhoff P6. And we're just not going to get any of these other drivers. Okay, Cronotis P7, Morrison P8, Shurik P9, Provolone P10. Spool still not across the line. And he is in oh, there he goes, P11.
That was a great race between those top 3 drivers.
Yep.
Just good close racing.
Awesome was in P6 at one point, so he went drop down to P12. So, and he didn't even finish the race. He pulled a pit, so it's unfortunate for him and Beachley as well. So it's going to be a quick break. We are going to be transitioning to another track, Oulton Park, as it's the Queen's tracks as we're doing today with the Ginetta. All of these drivers are on the right side of the car, so it's only fitting that we do something such as that.
Right side, but not correct.
Absolutely.
I'll get a few hate comments from our British viewers, but
Yeah, our multitude of British viewers.
yes, just gotta say, guys, just gotta say. Next track, Oulton Park, will be a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Very tight track. I know a lot of our drivers love it here, especially in GT4.
And we will be having a free practice, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I would not be surprised if we
Jump right into
had
the
a free
quality.
practice.
Yeah. Oh, well,
We'll see if they skip ahead. I know they all have a reasonable amount of experience driving those cars and on that track. So
so the
hopefully,
track has been reset. If you just maintain with us, we will be moving on to the next track, which is Oulton Park. So that was the end of the Brands Hatch for the Queen's tracks here. Yeah, we have a guy tuning in for the Josh and Richie battle. Overtake it was strategic. It's what he was trying to do to Pickerel before that, but Pickerel maintained his line, and Josh, went outside and he had a fight for P2 again. It was unfortunate because Richie just came in on the inside and was able to take that.
yeah, Pickerel is smart coming out that corner. Ran Josh a little wide. Josh was unfortunately put into the sand a bit, slowed him down. Richie was able to catch up, make the pass on the tight right-hander going up the hill. And then Josh did the pretty much exact same thing when Richie went wide coming out of that same corner the very next lap.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we'll be able to do it because they're in practice for 7 minutes, and maybe all the drivers want to get a lap in. But maybe you could see if Josh is willing to just let us have a little quick interview, see what he's thinking on this, because we already know Pickerel. He maintained pace. He did great, but Josh is the one that really probably has a lot to say.
I'm sure Josh has a lot to say. It looks like he's muted in channel right now, but why don't I drag Pickerel up and we can talk to the race winner from last race?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get your questions ready. Hey, Pickerel, how you doing?
Hi.
Hey,
That was a
Pickerel.
great show you put on. Way to come out in P first. We noticed early in the race that Josh was able to overtake you. You were able to get him back. How'd it feel kind of being able to cross him up a bit and take that
Man, I
position
made a
back?
mistake on lap 1 or lap 2, and he got ahead of me, and I thought that was going to be it. And then he made a mistake a lap or 2 later and got him back. And then, like, second lap from the end, I don't remember what turn it is.
I
But
think it was
anyways,
a
I
fast
had
right-hander going uphill.
I had a
it's at the
bad
Pilgrim
exit.
Shop,
He
yeah.
got up beside me. I held the inside. He went up on my left, and I kind of just got him on the gravel or on the rubber marbles, and he was off.
So you held a great race pace. Like, there's no doubt about that. You had, barring that Josh was only a couple tenths actually quicker than you, but Richie, yourself, and Josh all were within tenths of each other on that 133. So really, what was it like knowing that you finally passed him again? And when he did try to send it on you after Pilgrim's drop, he failed to maintain to overtake you, which actually cost him a lot because he got overtaken by Richie just quickly after that. Did you feel like that was the end of it for yourself? You knew that you were going to maintain P1 after that, or did you actually take a look in your rear view?
Yeah, I knew it was over. I kind of went a bit easier for the last lap and a half just to not make a mistake. But yeah, Josh had better pace than me, I think. But yeah, it was pretty intense holding them off.
Well, it was a great race, and you raced clean, so that was it was great to see the top three really just show what this league has to offer. Thanks, Pickerel. Do you have anything to add?
Yes. Yeah, no, not really. Other than I think I had lots of practice in this car last season. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Where do you think you're gonna line up here at Oulton Park?
well, it's all about the qualifying. So, uh, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time. Good luck out there.
Yep.
Thanks.
That was Andrew Pickerel driving the Ginetta this season, getting his win at Brands Hatch. Well done.
Very well done. And Oulton Park is another interesting track because there's a very good amount of places you could get a good overtake, and it'll be interesting to see where those end up occurring. I really feel like the ending
There are definitely
point.
there are definitely certain places where you can overtake, but I think this track is one of the most difficult to overtake on. So qualifying is gonna kind of come into play here. It's gonna be pretty important.
Yeah, just like that. Like on a Pilgrim's Drop in the Brands Hatch. I think the Warwick Bridge, which is that last straight before the right-hander that goes right back into the final stretch there. So I think that's a good spot where we're going to see some overtaking. I've seen it before. Um, if they just get a good exit on Druid's Corner. And right now, Richie does have the 145.6, which is the best in free practice. So we'll see if he is able to maintain that, or somebody goes probably way quicker. Do we have anybody that's actually pulled off a legitimate lap here?
I can definitely tell you that you're definitely going to want to be looking for at least 143s on this track.
Mm-hmm.
Experience from last season when I was driving the Audi, definitely a track where the Audi is strong, as Richie goes wide there. But I think the Ginetta has a reasonable speed here to where it performs well.
So
She's getting really late on those brakes. I think he's missing a lot of braking points here.
yeah, we haven't actually seen any drivers pull off anything too spectacular right now because most people are on their out lap, and free practice is ending in about a minute. So I don't think we'll get some glimpse into what the track times are going to be like. As Reggie King does get a 146.9, that's still not going to be quality times for sure. We do have Wassam on his hot lap here. Let's see if he can't curb that. His delta's pretty high up there. He's not gaining speed here. He's actually losing time.
Cronitis is going to be able to get one lap in as well.
Yeah,
As well as that small pack of drivers coming down the backstretch right now. Looks like they're all going to be able to get in. I don't think Reggie King is going to be able to get another lap. And honestly, looks like only about half these other drivers are going to get in too. Morrison's going to get across the line. Like Pickerel will get across the line as well to start one. But it doesn't look like the 72 car of Burkhoff. Well, it looks like maybe he did get across the line, but 15 car of Spool definitely did not.
Ooh. Wassam goes right into the barrier there. Huff Manic on the stream says, "Hey, how's it going?"
Hi Huff, how's it going with you, my friend?
That would be Rudy Manier, one of the race leads in the season that's going to be performing in GT3 and GT4? Question mark.
GT4, I do plan on participating on Thursday nights, so looking forward to that.
Okay. Oh, I'm not the one that's going on board, but we'll take Pickerel here, who is going on to his race. Maybe he's going to get held up by Morrison, though, on this hot lap. Let's see if he can get a good time in, maybe a quality time that we'll see. him come to the. He was P1 in the last at Brands Hatch, so we'll see if he can kind of maintain that here. There's not a-
Definitely goes deep, and he does hold him up. No big deal. It is only free practice.
True. But practice is where it's at. And yeah, good luck in the race, everyone. Yeah, hopefully we can see some good racing, some clean racing, and you know, Pickrell will maintain that title in P1 because this is his car. He did use it in the GT4 series that we just had. Oh, as he's going to pull into the pits.
Green light. Give it all you can.
Go. Qualifying has started.
We are
See
going to
who's
go
gonna
with
get out
the
first here.
Richie here, who was the first one to go out. This is an out lap, so
Way to get out quickly. They look for the drivers to warm up their tires and their brakes.
So, in terms of the British tracks, which one do you favor here, Rudy? Do you find Oulton Park to be quite challenging, or is it in the low skill tier of driving, or is it pretty technical with the two chicanes?
Of the British tracks, I think Old Park is my favorite, specifically racing GT4, Silverstone for sure. But this track is fantastic because there's not a lot of long straights, and you really there are technical corners. You really have to be careful putting the car into the right spots. And it's such a bumpy track too that if you're on the wrong line, even slightly, you hit hard enough of a bump going fast enough, it will throw your car offline and you will lose a significant amount of time.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, just like British roadways, I mean, bumpy as all can be, just like that little island they live on. So we see a lot of bumps. That's for sure. Within a track or outside the track, when you're definitely on the Queen's land.
It looks like Richie's going to start his lap here. Here he goes, going into turn one. Getting
Definitely
down to
did
third
not
gear.
send
And
that though.
went down to third gear. He used a little bit of curb on exit. Definitely could have used more.
It almost seems like he's a little bit playing on the safe side. Maybe he's not familiar with the track, or he's just trying to keep this thing on the track, not try to get outside the limits here.
Clarity, I think it's more of the qualifying is only set at 7 minutes, and those who get a lap in are bound to be better off than those who don't.
Oh, absolutely. For me, I would definitely just try to get the lap in and not try to do anything fancy. Once you get your lap in, try to go for your second lap, or since this will be his third lap going through. If he does, get into qualifying, then why not try to push the car a little bit? So maybe he's just trying to play safe and then take that next lap as his real hot lap.
And I think he's going to set a push lap here. Make sure he stays on the track. Don't cut too many corners. Keep track limits, and then he'll probably force the issue a little more on the next lap. I think exactly what we're seeing. But it looks like some of our other drivers didn't quite get the memo as Spool, car 15, and Morrison, as well as Eric Miller. The three of them are on invalid laps, as Richie will go in and set a time here.
144.9, which isn't strong.
That's quite strong. Behind him is Pickrell. Let's see where Pickrell comes out here.
Pull over to Pickrell.
Strong lap by.
Well, you were right. I was totally thinking in the wrong times here, because you were saying 143. He did pull off a 144. Pickerel being a seasoned driver in the Ginetta pull off a 145 too. So my mistake on that one. Richie, P1. Watson pulling in a strong time as he is P3. He has a 146 flat. We'll pull back the Pickerel here. He's definitely improving upon his time.
This.
He may get some lap traffic though.
44 Cart King.
Just gain a little bit of time in that curve.
Not really improving on his time there. On his last lap, still only in 9th. Down from 2nd last race.
And who was that?
Josh Willis.
Oh.
Pickerel does go fastest with a 144.5.
He is P1 as we will pull. See what other drivers we got going here. As Wasson is now in P4. Provolone, who was unfortunately taken out last race, is P3 with his time at a 145.2. Just gonna jump around here and see if anyone has a good valid lap that they're pushing for. Josh Willis is 144.6. He's still P9. It's a little bit too much curb there, and
Beachley's off in the hairpin, so drivers better watch out for that. Flag there, he's able to jump back to the pits.
I don't think that Josh is actually pulling out a valid lap if he's still P9, right?
There's a chance. It looks like he's gonna.
P3, 144.9.
Go.
Yeah, because he did have that previous lap, but it must have been invalid on his last lap because he is now pulled to P3 on that position.
Must have invalidated pretty late because from what I saw, he was pretty far along. But good for Josh being able to prove us wrong here in the commentator's box.
Absolutely, and we have Cronotis here, who's going to be the only one that crossed over that line before qualifying has ended. We'll see if he can't just push ahead. His best lap was a 147.4, and he's already cutting time off of that in Sector 1. Richie has pulled ahead with a P1 position there. I don't know his time, but he is in the pits now, but he is definitely in P1. We do have some contention, though, because Pickerel is ahead of Cronotis, and Cronotis is the last driver that will be crossing the line, and he's already cutting some good time off of his last, as Pickerel has just exited that chicane.
Also have Josh still on a valid lap here, so I'm gonna turn to him. Best right now, 44.991.
A little wide, but he'll take it.
Fast run through that corner. He definitely could have been faster. Right there, but this is a valid lap, so let's see where Willis comes out here.
Still hold P3.
It's P3, but looking really close at the top. Richie Giralaman qualifying first with a 144.3. 2/10 back, you have Pickerel starting on the same row as him, then Josh Willis. Then next, a little further down the order, we have a little further down the timing charts, we have Provolone, and then he will be starting 4th. Starting 5th, we have Cody Wassam.
Constable.
Starting 6th,
Cody Wassam.
Constable Cody Wassam. Starting 6th, Reggie King. Starting 7th, Jerry Shurik. Starting 8th, Eric Miller. Starting 9th, we have Professor Chronitis. Starting 10th, we have Spool. Starting 11th, Matt Morrison. Starting 12th, we have Burkhoff. Starting 13th, we have Beachley. And starting 14th, jumping into the server now, is the one and only owner of Tracklicious Sim Racing, Eric Gukasian.
Cassian, yes. One thing to note about those qualifying times is that Josh was the fastest through Sector 1, Richie was fastest in Sector 2, and Wassam, who is a strong driver, was fastest in that third sector. So it'll be interesting to see where it really pans out, because Wassam loses most of his time through that middle sector. So if he can pull off a quick Sector 2, he's going to be pushing the race leads. That'll be interesting to see if he can do that. So we'll pull over to the drive. And then sit on Richie, who is in P1.
Driving
15-minute
that,
race here, yeah.
It's Richie driving the 90s windbreaker styled car.
Where is
I miss it.
Tattoo? Tattoo? I don't know.
Otto, it doesn't look like
Auto?
racing tonight.
All right. Session started. 15-minute race is about to commence.
Rollin and Andrew Pickerel on the front row for this race. Start us off. Josh Willis and Provolone behind them to also possibly have a chance of gaining some positions here going into.
Now, it's good to see that Richie is actually ahead right now in this box, because we have seen previously that the number 2 can actually push slightly ahead of that number 1 off of the rolling start here.
Green window is opening.
As the
Green light. Give it all you can.
Green flag
Green flag.
drops, and we are away at Oulton Park.
green.
Richie able to hold position into the first as Pickerel slots in behind him as we head down into the left-hander.
Few drivers have gone off at that initial start. That's unfortunate for them. It's going to be Chronotis and Eric who have pulled to the back of the pack there.
We are still clean at hairpin there.
Very clean. A lot of these drivers are clean drivers, but we do have a couple of them already pulling away. So that looks like that. I'm not sure exactly where on the track that is. Maybe that's P11 to 14 to P12, but they're spaced out pretty evenly, forming a good gap from the midfield. As somebody,
Pickerel makes contact with the tire barrier back there.
yeah, just really trying to send it in on the inside. A lot of dust flying. You think the Honey Badger himself would be on this track?
Yes, at Austria, Honey Badger Daniel Ricciardo was kicking up dust to try and keep other drivers behind. It was quite funny.
Nobody even caught that for the longest time, which is quite interesting. I don't know if he does that on as a tactic, but definitely hit Charles Leclerc at least 3 times. It's got to be really annoying seeing dirt hit you at 180, 190.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
We see Richie is pulled away by a second, as Pickerel and Josh are the ones that are starting to pull out this fight. We'll pull Josh, because he is truly the one that's in a battle for P2. And Provolone in P4, who's he's been impressive. He's one of the newer drivers that joined us, and he's got great times, got great pace. He's clean. Incidents that have occurred outside of his control is what put him back there. As the next back three, Wasm, King, and Shurik are also strong drivers that are maintaining pace with each other.
Having a couple packs forming close racing. It's always fun.
Yeah, you can see those 4 drivers are really close behind the race leads here, as these 4 are within tenths of each other as well. What's a little surprising to me, and something that I maybe cursed from the beginning, is Mike Burkhoff is a very, very strong driver. And I like seeing him race because he usually is very clean and consistent and can pull out great lap times. Maybe he just doesn't know, he hasn't got a good handle for the car, but he is not in the top 10, which is not known for him to be outside of it.
Probably taking it easy, being a new car for him. I think he really likes the pack racing aspect. Also been a factor that he has kind of had some bad luck when it comes to this pack driving, but that's what's going to happen when you're driving in the middle of the pack.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, really on a strong lap right now. His first corner was very good. Second corner, not so bad either. Cars ahead of him are kind of running the same pace. That was a very good chicane. Last one, on the last lap there through that chicane, I thought he broke a little too late.
Mm-hmm.
That one was pretty good. I think this could definitely be a fastest lap from Josh right now, as he's starting to pull on the back of Pickrell.
Yeah, he's definitely being slightly held up in this position. Let's try to see where he's going to shine here. And like I said, this Warwick's Bridge is one of the places to pass if you can get through it. Get on that inside.
Pickrell's going to possibly go for a move going to the inside as Josh backs out. Richie brakes late enough, is able to hold it on the outside, but let's see what happens going into turn 1.
That's very interesting to see. I mean, it almost happened. I called it. It almost happened. As Josh goes in on the inside and overtakes Pickrell as he taps him.
Oh, taps him a little bit.
Is he going to give position back to Pickrell? That is the real question. Or Pickrell going to give back? No, I don't think he will. I think Pickrell's going to maintain P2.
I think so. I think that was a tricky move because I think Josh might have outbroke himself a little bit and slotted back in front of Pickrell. And Pickrell thought Josh was going to get on the gas and just didn't. Definitely not Pickrell's fault. He should have probably been paying attention a little more. I thought Josh had made the move.
Yeah, the move was made. That's for sure. The move was definitely made. As he overtakes Provolone with some ease. Don't think Provolone was defending all that much on that one, but we'll just see him go on the attack.
I think Josh is kind of driving with a little bit of anger now. After that slight tap from Pickrell, I think he's really catch him now and try and make another move stick. But all of this fighting has allowed Richie to definitely move ahead. He has been able to pull out a 1.5 second gap here.
Yeah, we'll definitely see the race lead get some distance while these two battle it out, especially when Pickrell's going to have to lay off his fastest to defend as they go through Warwick's Bridge again. See if this is a repeat of last lap.
Josh gets a good exit, but I don't think all this fighting though is really encouraging for Richie. He just really wants to see it. Got in the corner a little bit there. I don't know if that was a
The only way we're going to see Josh pass is if Pickrell makes a mistake, unless he gets a good line. I mean, like you said, this is a difficult track to pass on, but Pickrell has been holding key points on the track as Josh tries to pull ahead.
Does go deep there. Josh might be encouraged to send a move up to the chicane. We're about halfway through this race right now. Drivers really going at it.
I'm going to pull away just for a second. You maintain on Josh and see if anything happens in the driver's seat. But I'm just going to be looking over. We see Wasson in P5, Shirk in P6, Miller in P7, Burkhoff. We got some big gaps formed here. Big gaps. Eric is about 18 seconds off of P11. P11's 5 seconds off of P10. Bernotis and Morrison aren't going to be seeing any battles anytime soon. Once we got Burkhoff also kind of split out there in no man's land. Just barely seeing the back end of Eric Miller here. As Shirk goes wide and is off the track. Wasson maintaining P5. As Miller, oh my gosh, takes a line on both Wasson and Shirk. Pulls ahead to P5.
Wow, what just an incredible move by Miller. He does go very deep though, and it looks like Wasson might be able to respond. That or Shurik can, because he's pulling up on the outside of Wasson now. Like Wasson did try to respond.
Oh no, Wasson was a little
Now
slow
it looks
on
like
that exit.
Burkhoff is in the mix.
Burkhoff overtaking Shurik there is now. He had a break.
When Burkhoff is off, he will
Yep.
hand that position back to Shurik and rejoin.
The issue
Looks
with
like we have a yellow flag in the chicane. Justin Beachley
yeah,
possibly spinning a little bit there.
we'll pull back. What ended up happening is Burkhoff had to brake against Wasson without hitting him. So he was trying to race clean and safe, and he had to brake really hard before he was about to hit the back end of Wasson, which would put him off into the grass. So, you know, bad luck there, but at least he's a clean driver. I mean, a not so clean driver would have just taken that in and sent it Wasson onto the outside, but they were teammates, so maybe he's looking out for his former teammate. So Wasson's still P6.
Wide there, he's definitely lost some time to Pickrell right now. Top three to start battling here any second.
We'll just maintain on Pickrell as he is
Josh
Nice
goes
job.
really wide
Yeah.
behind him.
very wide. No. It's a good thing he can maintain such an action and race control on that. Sorry, car control. So he goes
Not
wide
getting
again.
good exit. Pickrell putting in 43s, really, because Josh is now right on the back bumper of Pickrell.
So we have a 143.656, a 143.740, and then a 143.299. Josh is the fastest man on the track. He has the.
He's gonna go for a move on the inside through the fast right-hander or left-hander, and he's gonna try and make a move around the outside in the hairpin. Can he make it stick? No. Pickrell's able to force the inside still.
That was tough.
As we have a car, Justin Beachley upside down. He has exited the race now. That was interesting.
Beachley has had some connection issues, which has put some interesting things that happen on the circuit. He was
Yeah, the
floating
issue we've
at
seen.
Laguna Seca above the track. Just getting a bird's eye view of the drive before his connection crashed.
And corrected. 43s are a great race pace. Qualifying, you definitely want to be doing just great race pace coming out of Josh here in the Ginetta.
Mm-hmm.
All three drivers are really close to each other.
It's unfortunate that Josh's time is really pulling away. He was on pace to just get even a better lap, but he's being kind of held up by Pickrell.
Josh has got the first corner locked down. He's very quick through it, easily quicker than Richie and Pickrell through it.
you know he wants to send it in on that inside. You saw it last lap and you saw it this lap too. He put on the brakes because he didn't have enough space, and that's just good defending on Pickrell's part.
I really think that the GT4 corner, you're not going to be able to go through that corner very quickly in the GT4 cars. So I think that was more of a him letting know Pickrell, hey, I'm here, I'm coming for you. As we see the three of these come in, I think this is going to be second to last lap, so Richie's really just got to hold position.
As Provolone has maintained his P4, it's good for him. He's definitely probably wanting that, especially with what happened last race. I'm just going to quickly go through the cycle and see what's happening here. As we have Miller at some point must have had a mistake because he is in P8, which Wassam in P5, Shirk in P6, and Burkhoff's probably going to try to take a bite out of Shirk on this lap coming up here. Try to quickly go back.
Burkhoff breaking into the top 10 now. Really going deep on that corner, and it's really kind of costing him time. He's going to hold the inside, defend against Pickrell. Pickrell's going to swing to the outside. Not going to be able to make the move stick, but Josh sending on up the inside on Pickrell now. This is some great racing.
These three are... Richie's really having to defend against
still
two
on the
drivers.
Outside too, though.
As they're too wide going through the first corner.
Oh! Move on Richie now.
Oh my!
Pickrell spins Richie. Josh able to get underneath the two of them and take the lead. 2 positions in 1 corner.
Oh my God! You hate to see it. Pickrell had just sent it into Richie, and Richie goes sideways there, and he is out of this race. Provolone takes P2.
Not rejoined, which just tells me he's really upset right now.
Wassam P4, Shirk P5, Burkhoff P6. Miller's 5 seconds off that pace. Richie is still on the side as Chronotis passes by him. As we have one driver in the pits. P10 is going through the final corner there, or the first corner. Sorry. We go back. Got a 2-second lead on Pickrell as we were going. This will be the final lap. Let's pull to Shirk and Burkhoff, see if one of these drivers can't make a move before this race ends here. I know Burkhoff probably wants to make a move against Shirk.
It'll be interesting for this final corner. Let's see if he can.
We'll definitely know in a second as they're crossing the line. We'll have Josh Willis in P1 and Pickrell in P2, Provolone P3. Wassam's going to be crossing the line in just a second. He's going to be P4.
Burkhoff gets a great exit. Does he have the ability to get up to him? No, it's side-by-side finish, but Shirk will take 5th position ahead of 6th position Burkhoff. Great racing by the 2 of those guys.
As Eric Miller has crossed as well. He's P7, and then our P8, Chronotis, is going into that final turn with Spool P9, Eric P10. Don't think we'll see any changes there.
So, drivers who did not complete the entirety of the race. Richie Geralin, after he got spun on the last lap in the first corner. Unfortunate for him. Reggie King did not, unfortunately, finish this race. Neither did Matt Morrison or Mr. Beachley, as we believe he disconnected due to connection issues.
Mm-hmm. And so we have our full timetable here. Maybe, just maybe, we might be able to get Richie. So just bear with us. We're going to be going to a new track. It's going to be one of the Queen's tracks, as this is the stream that we're doing here. So it will be another British track. I'm not sure which one just yet. We still have Donington Park, Silverstone, and Snetterton to look forward to. One of those 3, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe is there a 4th? I don't think so. I think those are the other ones.
I think there's only 5 total, so
Yeah.
we'll be probably going to one of the others.
So Snetterton,
we'll
Donington
see.
Park, or Silverstone. And so I'm going to be quitting, and I'm going to quickly go look at that that incident, and in the meantime, maybe we can't pull one of the drivers that wants us to talk about what happened. Maybe Josh wants to celebrate a little bit. I mean, we do have. I mean, what was going through his head? He was P3, and he snuck ahead on a racing incident, but you get what you can get.
Yeah, let's drag Josh in here, see what he thinks. He is the winner of the race after all, and maybe if Richie is muted right now, so I don't know if I want to drag him in if we're not
Absolutely,
able
yeah.
to speak to him. So let's start with Josh. Hey Josh, great race. Congrats on the P1 finish. That move that you sent in on the first corner of the final lap was a really good move. Obviously Richie came off pretty bad from it. Not due to your fault, of course. It was more of a tap by Pickrell. But you seem to be going through that first corner perfectly nearly every single lap. What was the key to that?
Brake just at the chain link and then just throw the car through. I noticed one of the laps you can go on the grass there and gain a bit of time, but a little risky. But yeah, just shove it in there and yeah, go around the track. I lowered the brake bias quite a bit, and I felt like I could outbrake everybody on the track. And yeah, let me throw it in a little bit more.
So, Josh, one of the interesting things what actually happened there is that you were going double. So you went too wide on that first turn as you maintained your line and you were perfect with it, but Pickrell had been going too fast for Richie and he had just tapped him out of the way. It's unfortunate to see, but how'd you feel after that? Did you notice what happened and did it affect you as you moved through that?
I noticed it just before the next corner. I wasn't really paying attention to right behind me. Once I got the all clear, I just focused on getting the best exit. And then I noticed looking at the Delta that something happened. And then I kind of just heard that it was the final lap. Drove it home pretty chill. Yeah, I knew that it was over right there.
Well, great. Do you know what's going to be coming next? Are you going to be excited for it, or do you think you're going to be able to
I
maintain a good
am
quality?
I am not excited. It is Snetterton. And I have never put a lap down here, so this is going to be a very interesting race.
All right. Can't wait to see it.
Awesome.
Best of luck,
Thanks, guys.
Josh. Congrats on your win.
Yeah,
Best of luck at
congrats.
Snetterton.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And let's see if this track is with us. Do you know if it's up?
I do not see it yet. Looks like
there it goes.
we're
It is up. We are at Snetterton.
Green light. Go, go, go.
I actually have raced this track, not against any, not online. Definitely not online. I've never seen it actually show up. But I take the GT3 McLaren 720 here, and I just have fun. It's got some long straightaways, some tight corners. It's just a really fun track to just practice in.
McLaren is actually the GT3 one specifically. It's very fast at this track. McLaren's very quick on the straights, and it is just a very balanced car in the corners around this track, which you would think that would be the case because the McLaren generally isn't the best through a lot of slow speed corners, but for some reason the car just sticks here.
Mm-hmm. And Rui, you're more than welcome to join the track now. It is open.
Yeah, I'm having a couple difficulties joining the server here. Give me a second. My connection or something, or we're having a little bit of difficulties here.
So just because we don't have a lot of, most people have never been to this track, so just briefly, I will say that we are going to be at the 300 circuit, which is 3 miles. And that's about all the information I got for you this time. It looks like this circuit is the UK's finest motorsport racing facilities. They did it.
Any motorsport facility in Europe would say that as well.
Yeah, I mean that's all. That's really the only information I was able to pull up in just a few Google snaps here. But maybe we'll just try to walk through some of these different sectors. That way, people know kind of what what each one represents as far as the names for these places go.
I'm also going to try to reload as well.
Okay. So this tight left-hander is called Murray's Corner, as we're going into the Senna Straight, probably named after the man himself, who is also a legend in motorsports. This first curve is Rich's, not very memorable corner, I guess. Let's call it Rich's. This tight right-hander is going to be Montreal. What we're going to be seeing is a lot of drivers really struggling because nobody races this track. This is the Ogies or the Augies. I think this is the Ogies corner. Oh no, Palmer. That was the Palmer corner. As we go into the Agostini, this is the Agostini corner. And then named after Hamilton himself is that little bend right there is the Hamilton bend. And then this is the Ogies, this right-hander, this sharp right-hander going into Williams, which is the next one over. After Williams corner ends, this is the Bentley straight. This is a long straight-hander, and we're going to be seeing a lot of drivers try to make use of this straightaway to gain position. You could go 4 wide on this if you really wanted to. It's possible. As the Brundle left-hander is right there, going straight into Nelson's sharp right-hander. And this corner right here, as he's pulling through it, is the Bomb Hole. Bomb Hole. It's a very interesting name for a corner.
Funny story, that corner is actually the way it dips down, it's actually because a bomb was dropped there.
Oh.
And that is why it is called Bomb Hole.
Well, there you go. The more you know. As they exit Murray's, going straight to the Senna Straight, which is what's interesting about this track is that it's got some wide spots. So we got some very wide corners, wide track in general, but the ability to defend is going to be a little bit harder, as some of these drivers are going to be able to take some of these wider angles if they could pull off a good exit and overtake on that next turn, because we got some right-handers going into left-handers going into right-handers. As long as they can maintain that next move into the next corner, they're going to be able to make out on top. So we're going to be seeing some tough defending here. It's going to be difficult to actually maintain a good defending. The other thing is that you don't see a lot of braking markers. People are going to have to be using, the edge of these tracks to take a look at what's really going on here. There's not a lot to take reference from, and especially if somebody takes out that right-hander sign right there. Where's the reference points? It's going to be difficult overall. Rudy Manier, have you driven this track, and do you feel the same? I mean, there's not a lot of references.
I do not have a lot of experience on this track, but I do find it to be very entertaining. I think we're going to see a lot of overtaking here, and I think we might see some new drivers towards the front, and I'm really excited to see that.
Okay.
Provolone's the fastest right now, and Josh Willis is second fastest, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll see same drivers over and over again, kind of leading the front of the pack, but who knows? Ooh,
oh!
And it looks like this is going to be fun. We got a rain race today on one of the tougher tracks.
Green.
It looks like it's only going to get worse, too.
Oh my God. What do we got here? We got rain, heavy rain, heavy rain. Track is wet. Temperature's 22. Track is 25. Winds at 15 kilometers an hour. This is insane. Who's the first to go out? We have Eric Gukasian, who's going to try to start his first lap here. We'll go to the good out lap, but oh my God. Rudy, if you don't mind trying to pull into that that one cam, which will be the driver cam, you can just press 1. It should do the work for you.
The number 1 or numpad
Yep.
1?
Yep, just number 1.
I did hit that one.
Right above the QWERTY part of your keyboard.
Yes. Or F1 or?
No, just 1, right next to your tilde key.
Yep, I'm hitting it. I don't know.
The other thing you could just try to do. Let's see.
Is there a hotkey like?
It should be just. Oh, there you. Oh no, that was me.
Oh, maybe I'm having an issue with streaming. Let me try that.
Yeah, I think that's our.
There we go.
Here.
I did have to restart the game to get the server to load or to populate. So.
Okay, let me. There we are. Oh, perfect. We are on little technical difficulty, but that's nothing we can't handle. All right, so you're looking at Richie.
I'm
Oh no,
looking at Willis, but I can't look
Willis.
at Richie.
No, I'm not actually sure who we should be looking at. Outlaps, who's ahead right now?
I don't think
Willis.
Richie.
It's
I don't think the car that just followed Richie into the wall here.
Okay,
It's like
so
Cassian.
let's try to get to a driver that hasn't gone off track, as we see multiple drivers really just struggling to maintain. I think what's going to really be the key factor here is that one's struggling to get back on track. It's going to be
Pickrell goes off as well. I guess let's watch Josh and see what he has. to offer
he's
us.
already off. He's off on an invalid lap. We have Provolone, who's the only
Nope,
driver.
He just started his valid lap. Josh
Okay,
just started his
okay.
valid lap.
I'll pull over to Josh here and let's take a look at him. This is interesting because this track in itself is not an easy track for many reasons. The brake markers can be taken out. You don't have many to look at, to observe on the side of you, like as far as a wall or some etching or some grass. There's really nothing to go by beyond those typical braking markers. Not only that, people don't drive this track. Almost every single driver that I've talked to has not driven this track for more than a lap. I've put in, my 3-star track rating here because I thought it wasn't that bad. The McLaren 720 GT3 drives fast on it, and if you get a little used to the track, about 10 laps in, you're starting to be like, oh, this is actually kind of fun. It's a fun track for me, but seeing GT4 cars go through it, it's an entirely different thing, as well as Ginetta, as it is a spec race for the Queen's tracks.
And it looks like most of the drivers behind Josh have been able to kind of stay alive here, except for it looks like Shurik has invalidated his lap. Rollin might be getting held up behind Beachley, as Eric Miller is
Just
into
saying
the
hello.
grass there.
He's just saying hello,
to
yeah.
Josh before he rejoins. Josh able to go through bomb hole, no problem. On the long right-hander.
This is called Coram. Coram. Going into Murray's hard left-hander here. Should be trying to educate everybody on this track as well as ourselves, because this is not new. Oh, look at that. Eric is just going to send it in through the grass to really just take it home. He just doesn't want to take that left-hander. That's okay. Josh sets the best time so far, as we'll see, as a 2:11.5. So we'll pull
If
away.
that holds.
to a couple drivers. As Shirk has an invalid 211 as well, so he would have had a 211. There's 211.9 P2 for Beachley, who previously has not had a great races. Back in the backfield, pitted on the first Brands Hatch. We have a P10
Like-
Pickerel. Holy, my God, that he
Pickerel
knows
able-
that he knows that car. That's what it really is.
Definitely. But it looks like Josh is already over a second up on his lap right now. He's fast through that corner, but
So he's a second faster than his lap, but where is Pickerel's time at? We have Pickerel at a 2:10.074, so he is flat on that. So we're gonna need to see.
a second and a half faster. So
Yeah.
Josh's gonna have to improve by
At least a second, 1.250, I think we need to see him improve, or actually more than that. He's got to do a
1.5
1.5.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's plenty of points where he can make up time, because the issue is that nobody really knows these corners, and so we're gonna see some time being made up each time he goes through a corner, as we do see him already improve upon that, already getting to a 144.
Really close. He's past the mark that he needed to. He just needs to hold that inside and get a good final corner and get a good run out of the final corner.
Right out of Murray's corner there, as he's pulling ahead.
Time out of there. But it looks, it's going to be close. I don't think he's going to overtake Pickerel. He's going to miss him by,
Wow.
So close.
Tenths. Where's Pickerel at? Pickerel's even faster as he goes into Murray's corner. He's almost a second. He is a second faster than his previous time, and he's going to improve. Josh was down a tenth off of his time, as he now pulls a 209 flat.
Oh, it's very unfortunate. But only 4 drivers were able to complete a lap.
That is exactly what we want to see when we're looking at these conditions. We want to see unstable, invalid driving, because nobody knows this track. So it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting what shakes up here. We got Richie, P10. He is a P3 driver for sure, and he's in P10. Beachley,
Very unfortunate for Richie.
he was in the backfield starting at Brands Hatch and in Oulton Park, and he is P3. So it really just mattered to be safe on that quali.
Yep. And now it looks like the day is clear. We got a nice, bright, sunny day. The drivers to make their way around this track. I'm not really sure what the a fast time in a GT4 is here, but we will see. As we have Pickerel starting in first, Josh Willis starting in second, have Beachley starting in third, Jerry Shurik starting in fourth, Professor Cronitis in fifth, Reggie King in sixth, Constable Cody Wassam in seventh.
Nice. Put some respect on that name.
Of course. I believe it's Jason Provolone in eighth, Eric Gukassian in ninth, Richie Geralman in 10th, Mike Burkhoff in 11th, Eric Miller in 12th, and Matt Morrison starting from the back of the pack in 13th. Time here, as we will be starting off a Pickerel on the front row. About 20 seconds left here. Cars to
I don't
start rolling off the grid.
I don't know if this is accurate by any means, but it says Snetterton 1:59.4 is a global lap time that I'm seeing from Race App on ACC. So it might be the case for the Ginetta GT4, specifically this car. Fast times, the fastest time on Snetterton in an ACC GT4 car was actually the BMW M4 with a 156 flat. The slowest car was a Maserati.
That definitely makes sense with the Maserati being one of the only cars in GT4 to not have traction control.
This race is about to start as we're on the rolling start.
Our green at Snetterton.
Ooh, green, green, green as Josh gets wide with the pickerel here. Let's see if he can't try to maintain that going into the first corner. Ooh, very slow. Everyone was a little slow.
Will back out.
Yeah, you see Shirk try to attack Beachley there.
Able to stick with Pickerel through that corner.
Multiple incident happening. Provolone, Cronitis, King, all. No, that was Gukasian that all just had an incident going through that corner. As Pickerel and Josh get some speed, or kind of gap forming there. So all the other drivers are now just gapped out.
Morrison started from last, has made his way up to 7th. Well done by Morrison.
Richie is in P8. Let's see if he can't make some moves come there.
Start P10, so
Josh is actually maintaining a close distance on Pickerel. Maybe he's just gonna draft him for this race to see if he can't maintain speed and race pace and overtake him towards the end.
Definitely keeping pace with Pickerel.
If you were the number 2 driver right now, Josh, P2, would you want to keep that or would you try to get ahead? Because realistically, you don't know the track. You've only raced a couple laps on it. You know, just as an example, this is where your mindset is. You've only had a couple laps. Your quality laps were in the wet, so you're not even sure how, confident you are in these corners. Would you maintain P2 with close distance and then try to snake at him towards the end of the race, or would you actually just try to get ahead of him and just try to hold that?
Being that I wouldn't have a lot of experience, I would try to make a move as early as possible. He thought about it doing right there, and it looks like Pickerel's going to go way deep. It looks like Josh will be able to take P1 away. I would definitely try and take position as early as possible, and then try and hold position for the remainder. Like I would definitely try to defend.
As Shirk has a go at Pickerel, and it did not stick. We see Burkhoff pull ahead of my Constable Cody Wassam there, and is now P5. And this track, there goes Chronotis getting passed by Reggie King. Now, no, they're too wide. They bump. Oh! Big accident. Big accident. Chronotis is off.
Morrison is slow.
Morrison able to pull it back onto the track. Chronotis is, he's getting back into the fight there.
Definitely slow. It looks like Casting's catching up to him. Able to overtake Beachley.
Josh is what we're seeing here is like a good gap between these drivers, and I didn't expect it. You don't know what to expect because we haven't seen a full race here before. So it's interesting that people are really just building good half-second gaps on each other. As Eric Miller is going to have a go at Reggie King. You can clearly see that. Wassam to Richie is a 3-second gap. Richie to Provolone is a 5-second gap. Richie is going faster than Wassam, so we will see Richie definitely try to get an overtake there. As Eric is backing out. He's losing some time. We'll pull over to any other battles. There's a car off. Wasson just lost it in that corner. If Richie going
Very
ahead.
deep there, and Pickrell was able to gain some time on him.
As we see,
Josh goes really deep. Pickrell really making up time on Josh here.
so far we have a 2-minute flat 2. Pickrell's got a 2:01.9, so it's almost a 2:02. We have a 2:01.2 by Shurik. Beachley's a 2:03.4. Burkhoff's a 2:01.5, so he's definitely going to catch up on those other drivers. And Richie is already a second and a half, almost a second and a half off his time, so he's definitely going to be up there in terms of race pace for the pole position. And my gosh, Provolone. Now he did get P3 due to a racing incident, but he's also just a strong driver. But his best time is the fastest time on the board already, as Wasson goes wide and Provolone takes P7 from him.
See Provolone performing well. It's unfortunate that we had that incident with him at the beginning of the race. Hopefully he's able to climb some positions. Started P3 at the beginning, or maybe that was Beachley. I believe that was Beachley, actually.
Beachley was the one that has been in the back of the pack the last 2 races, but he is he started P4 and he's maintained P4. As Burkhoff goes a little wide there, he's definitely thought he was gonna. Is that close? These drivers are close. Pickerel has gained some time. He's only a couple tenths off of Josh here. Josh goes a little wide.
Yeah, the two of them are really fighting up here. We'll hopefully see Pickle try and make a move here in a second. As Josh does go deep, does not really make contact with the apex of the corner. Looks like he's able to maintain whatever gap he previously had. Pickle does go deep there, and actually does not get too bad of an exit.
It is interesting to note that also Pickerel had a best lap at a 1:49.6. So
59.6, but yes,
yeah,
you're
1:59.
right.
Yeah, 1:59. Sorry. So is that the fastest lap that we have though? Josh is still
Certainly,
a 2-minute.
I think it's certainly the fastest lap we've seen in the Dragler server so far, but
We are halfway
Yeah,
through.
absolutely.
Josh
I
gets a
think
little
that
squirrely there.
that might be the fastest. We still haven't taken a look back at Provolone, who did also have a 1:59. But I forgot the actual tenths there, so that'd be interesting to see whether or not he is has that.
Best right now is a 1:59.9, and Pickrell's is a 1:59.625. Pickrell does currently have the fastest lap. Josh probably going to improve on his fastest lap right now. He does with a 2:1. Pickrell got slightly held up there. Did run a 2:0 last lap.
Josh just went a little wide there.
Pickrell dives down for the inside.
And he's going to get it.
Yes, he is going to get the move done. Wow, what a move by Pickrell, sliding one up the inside.
Clean overtake there.
It was pretty clean. I'm wondering if Josh might be a little peeved because Pickrell did seem to kind of lunge, but Josh might have let him have the space. And if Josh going to try and go for the move on the outside, which doesn't. I don't think that's the move in that corner.
But that's the thing,
Pickrell
though.
able to.
Well, like I was saying earlier, is that this track is the way it's set up, and these corners are set up. Instead of going on the outside, you want to go. You want to go on that inside corner and try to get them on the next turn. So going on the outside is the move, but he just needs to maintain a good exit to get ahead of him going onto the next corner. So we just need to see some people pull off some good overtakes in that.
think the position that Josh was going for, he was going for a position in a right-handed corner with a right-handed corner following as well, or a left-handed corner into a left-handed corner.
Hmm.
That's not gonna.
Yeah, absolutely. This gap is building slightly. He does have a faster race pace, and he's even showing it now that he's got half a second off his best time going through the Murray's corner, going into the center straight, finish off his lap. We're going to see a new improvement on this time.
It looks like Pickle's really feeling good right now. 159 flat, .001. That's a great time by him.
And Josh is a second off that pace, and we were going to see him building some distance. So we got Richie, who's in P5. Beachley's already been passed by Burkhoff and Richie. Oh, as he goes really wide. Oh, and Richie is off.
Looks like Richie's into the wall.
Oh,
Very
no.
unfortunate, but maybe he can pick it back up and try and get back at these guys.
There's 4 minutes and 19 seconds left on this time. I think he might be able to, as long as he doesn't have too much damage that he suffered there. His Provolone is now P6, and he has a 159.3, so he's also going well. Burkhoff.
We also have Mike Burkhoff off ahead, as Beachley looks like he's going to go for a move down the inside of Burkhoff, and he will make that stick, or will he? A little wide on exit, but I think, yeah, he's able to hold it.
Yeah, I think we're going to see...
Oh.
Oh, Richie's off again.
It looks like the damage is just too much for him to control the car, so it looks like that'll be the end of Richie Geralman's race. Very unfortunate. I think we really want to stick with these three cars right now, because I think we're going to see a battle for fourth position. As Beachley just goes a little too wide, opening up the space for Burkhoff and giving Provolone a nice exit.
As Miller is sitting on the side of the track there. Provolone overtaking Burkhoff.
Provolone is able to overtake Burkhoff, but Burkhoff coming back at him. Oh, almost rear ends him. And it looks like we're going to see a battle for fourth place between Provolone and Beachley. Able to gain those two positions back after losing his third position to Shurik and dropping down the order slightly. Good for him.
And what you're seeing in the picture-in-picture is actually Provolone, not Burkhoff, in the driver's seat.
A great exit by Provolone. Looks like we're going to see a little bit of rubber banding between back and forth between the cars as Provolone is going to try and go up and around the outside as Burkhoff sends one down the inside on him. What a move by Burkhoff, as Burkhoff does run a little wide, but he's able to hold on to it, unlike Richie did last lap. What a move by Burkhoff.
So we see another driver is off track. Oh, that might be still Eric Miller sitting on the side of the...
It is, yeah, still Miller sitting on the side of the road. A little squirrely on exit by Provolone. Beachley has been overtaken by Burkhoff again. Burkhoff really just kind of putting on an overtaking clinic, just kind of trying to find the pace on this track. He was able to slide up into fourth. Shurik has been able to get away in third. Looks like Josh and Pickrell are still fighting again. We only have 1:40 left, so why don't we go up and take a look as we see Burkhoff drive off into the sand, and Provolone and Beachley are able to get past him. Here we see Josh and Pickrell going through bomb hole.
Okay, so Josh was able to find his pace because he is now at a 159.034, and Pickrell is just 0.3 off that. So that's really interesting to see that Josh
does go into the back of Pickrell, but Pickrell able to hold on to it and not turn the car too much. So he is still in the same position he was.
Going down the center straight.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now.
Yep.
Give it all you can.
They call this corner the Riches. Don't know why. It's not
Certainly
money
wasn't great for Richie.
Yeah.
As he spun out of this corner and ended up costing him the rest of his race.
That's a Great play on words for that one as they exit the Montreal corner there. I think the rain during quality did add some interesting dynamics. We do see some signs taken out. One was done by Chronotis, who is notorious for taking out signs. So there's no nothing lost there, I guess. But don't know if we're going to be seeing anything too exciting happen between these drivers, as we do have a couple other drivers that just passed each other.
Final lap of the race.
Provolone overtakes Beachley.
Provolone was able to overtake Beachley, but that pack of 3 is still fighting for that position. So we'll see kind of what happens here.
Shirk is in no man's land. He's got 10 seconds between both P2 and P4, so we're going to see Shirk just maintain that position.
Shirk will be on the podium. It's really just a matter of who comes first between Josh and Pickerel, and it really looks like Pickerel at the moment. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, I think Pickerel's going to be able to hold this win.
So they're going through, what is that, bomb hole? Look at that.
Bomb hole. Provolone able to pull out a little bit on Beachley, so looks like Beachley's 5th position. Unless Burkhoff has something to say about it.
This fast left-hander is Murray's corner, as I don't think Josh is going to find the speed to get past Pickerel. As Pickerel will be taking P1. Josh P2.
The leader has finished the race.
Great race by the two of them. Both of them having a great time there.
P3 for Shirk.
Will
Provolone.
cross line in P3. Well done by him.
He was
Provolone coming
P4
to the line now.
P3 last race. Now he is P4. Good job, Provolone.
Very close finish between Beachley and
Beachley
Burkhoff.
But Burkhoff
that
did
is
not take it. P6.
That is twice Burkhoff pipped at the line, once at Oulton Park, and now here again at Snetterton. Well done by Beachley coming in 5th. Burkhoff in 6th.
Richie's able to hold on to that really damaged vehicle and take P7.
Yeah, well done by Richie to be able to hold P7. Reggie King across the line in P8. Like Morrison will come across the line in P9. Eric Gakassian unfortunately did not finish the race. He is in the pits, but he will finish P10. Then Professor Chronotis in 11th, and Wassam, Constable Cody Wassam, in 12th. Talk to the winner of this race.
Yeah.
So why don't we drag Andrew Pickerel in here and talk about how well he was able to hold off Josh for that win there. Hey, Pickerel, well done. Congrats on your 2nd win of the night. Qualifying was a bit tricky. Had some rain, but you were able to kind of still hold position in P1. Then you had a small mistake that gave Josh position, and you were able to still overtake him. Do you think that you had the pace over Josh, or do you think he was able to kind of keep up with you that whole race? Pickerel, hello?
Pickerel.
Like we might be having some technical difficulties here.
Let's keep him in and drag Josh, and then we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, let's drag Josh in here. Hey, Josh, congratulations on finishing P2. Kind of tricky conditions in qualifying, but you were able to still put it on the front row with Pickerel. The two of you had a nice battle that race. Care to comment?
Yeah, it was a fun battle. I didn't really know where to brake most of the time, so I kind of just was trying to have fun and trying to be clean. I was starting to get into a groove towards the end, hoping to pass Pickerel, but I made a little contact with him and let him get back in front, and I killed it. But it was still fun. I like the track actually. I want to do more of that.
You actually did when you found your groove, you were able to actually pull ahead with the 159, like 0.8 something. It was close, but you were just 0.3 off of what Pickerel was doing. He pulled in one of the fastest laps towards the end of the race, but I mean, you really found pace, you really found the time, and you guys were really just tense, just minuscule amount of time off of each other. I think with some practice, you probably would have been able to both of you would be able to do a lot better. But it was very impressive to see, especially since the fastest times that we could see on the race app for a GT4 Ginetta was a 154.
Wow.
9-4, I think.
Yeah.
You guys were able to.
159.4 was it?
159.4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I believe those are possibly either only from our series or that is just not run very much on race app.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a
I mean,
global it was a global timetable. I could definitely take another look at it, but yeah, it's still interesting that that was really what the times were, and that what you came in with, not having a single ounce of knowledge on where these breaking points are, as well as having a rainy quali. I probably just killed some of the confidence, but it was a great race. What would you do differently? Anything?
my tire pressures were bad, but I mean, I didn't really know what to set it to, considering the practice. I wasn't paying too much attention. I was just trying to drive the track. Qualifying, obviously, with different conditions, so everything got switched up there. But I like the rain, so that didn't
Yeah.
bother me one bit.
Did you feel frustrated at all being P2, just sitting there? Did you feel like you're faster than Pickerel, or did you feel like you were just hanging in it?
Well, when I did that final lap of mine and I was 6 thousandths of a second off, I was like, "Oh wow, I'm really impressed with myself." And then Pickerel finished with a second faster, so it is what it is. I wasn't too surprised that I
Yeah.
was second, not knowing the track.
The first and second race, Josh, felt like we had such a battle the whole time. This one, you were behind me the whole time, but I never felt really threatened.
Yeah, yeah. Typically, yeah, you weren't really. There was a couple moments where I was trying to overtake you, but nah. No, I got thrown. I also got thrown off by a brake marker that I guess disappeared. No way to know how that happened. But I guess it just disappeared and messed me up on that second corner.
Turn
Lost
two,
me some time.
yeah.
Yeah, turn two. Yeah, yeah. Because I not knowing the track, I was just counting brake markers.
Well, I think that was Richie who unfortunately went into a wall at Richie's corner, or Rich's
Ooh,
corner.
well,
Riches, yes. Richie
how
spun at
fitting.
Riches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations to the two of you.
Appreciate it.
Good one.
All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Rudy Manier was my co-host here. It was great to see him. So if you don't have anything to add, we're going to be ending the stream.
I know I had a lot of fun. Thanks for having me, and look forward to seeing you all on the next stream, hopefully. Don't forget to check out Tracklicious Racing. We do track days all across the Midwest area. We also have our upcoming online series here in ACC. We have a GT3 series coming up on Sunday. I believe it's September 12th. We have our Porsche Cup the day before on the 11th. And a little before that, you can also possibly race the Ginetta here in GT4 on the Thursday before that.
Yeah,
Feel free
just
to
don't go.
join.
Yeah, just look at the schedule as well.
Join us in the Discord below if you have any questions, and we'd be happy to help you out. Take care, everybody.
All right, see ya.